Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Carol and the name of my channel is My Blessed Nest. Today, I'm excited to be participating again in the Make It New challenge. It's hosted by Jasenia at Be Thrifty2 and co-hosted by Anna at DIYs and Crafts with Anna. This is the second time she has hosted this challenge, and I also participated in the first challenge as well. Today, I am using a garage sale item that I purchased for $1 this summer. I'm going to tell you, it was in nasty shape. Would you like to see what I found and what I do with it? Then let's get started. My hubby and I went garage sailing all day long this summer. Yep, there was ice cream involved. And I found this nasty old toolbox. It was only marked $1, and something about it spoke to me. It had really good bones. It was full of all kinds of tools and junk. I cleaned it and disinfected it before I even brought it in the house. So here's what it looked like after I emptied it out. The first thing I decided to do was to go over it good with some steel wool to prepare it for paint. I wasn't even going to paint it when I first found it. I just thought it looked really cool the way it was. But over time, I got this idea that I could make it into a girly girl toolbox to match my craft room. I gave the toolbox another wipe down with some Lysol wipes. I'm telling you, I probably cleaned this toolbox about 4 or 5 times from the time I bought it till the time I painted it. It was really cruddy. Also, did I mention when we bought the toolbox, the lady said, "Oh, there's a spider nest attached to that." She told her husband to get an old broom he had there and to knock it all off of there. Honestly, I was afraid to carry it. I made my husband carry it, and he wasn't none too thrilled either. And then I made him check it all over before we even put it in the Jeep to make sure they got all of the spider nest out of it. Ew! I have this wall paint left over from when we originally painted this room when it was our daughter's room. And so I thought there's not that much left to do anything major with, but I should be able to paint the outside of my toolbox with it. It's a really good quality Sherwin-Williams paint, so it should last a while. It ended up needing 2 coats, and I did the first coat with just a cheap foam brush, and then I got out one of my better paint brushes that I use for walls for the second coat. After I put the first coat of the pink on the outside, I started on the inside with a smaller artist paintbrush, and I used some leftover yellow paint from our kitchen. Now it's coming off on camera at first as white, so I was really confused because, well, you'll see later why I was confused when I do the next step. But this is the yellow paint, and I just took my time and coated all the inside of the toolbox, the edges and everything, and some of it was pretty awkward to paint, but I just took my time and it was relaxing. Here's how it looked after the first coat of the yellow, and pretty soon you'll see that I encountered a little bit of a problem. Here I will just show you a quick clip that I did switch to my really nice paintbrush that I use on the walls, and I put the second coat of pink paint on. So here's where I discovered my little problem. Inside the toolbox, the yellow coat of paint dried like this. There's little rust spots showing through. So I have a product that I have from another project years ago. It's called Adhesion Primer. And I thought, I'm going to try coating over those rust spots with this. I'm not going to be using it for anything else anyway. So I took my little artist brush and I just painted a coat over it. And here's where you can tell the difference. This is yellow paint and I'm painting white over it. But I was really confused when I was editing because I thought, what's that step doing here now before I even painted? So anyways, I just painted over the spots that were peeking through, and let that dry really well. Turned my fan on because this stuff really smells, and it really seemed to do the job. Then I was able to go back and paint over it after it dried and give the inside of the toolbox a second coat of the yellow paint. While I'm putting the second coat of the yellow paint on, I just wanted to take a minute and thank you for watching my video. And I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you like thrifting, thrift hauls, DIYs, trash to treasures, and decorating your home with thrift hauls, then you'll be sure to love my channel. I would love to have you as part of my YouTube family. Make sure to leave a comment below if you subscribe so I can welcome you to my channel. This tiny little artist brush sure came in handy for just correcting any boo-boos I made around the edges. I got a little bit of yellow paint here and there, so I just freshened up the edges so they were nice and sharp. And as you can tell from my hand, I have yellow paint all over it. It was a little bit awkward getting in some of those nooks and crannies with that yellow paint. Here's my painting tip of the day for you. I have this old drying rack. It's just a piece of plastic that I have underneath what I'm painting. And it's real simple to just move the drying rack around so that I can get to the different sides of my toolbox. And that way I don't touch any wet paint and mess it up. At this point, my vision is coming to life right before my eyes. There's just a couple more things I'm going to do to my toolbox to really jazz it up. I was able to find this non-slip shelf liner at the Dollar Tree, and I decided after I went to all this trouble of painting my toolbox, I didn't want to nick it up with all of my tools. So I'm going to cut this liner and put it in my toolbox to protect it. And the cool thing was you could actually see the paint through the liner. Now this isn't really good quality, and I'm not really going to be using a lot of heavy tools, or probably not even using them very often. So I think for my purposes it's going to work just fine, and it looked really nice. The last step to beautifying my toolbox was I wanted to put some words on it that were cute. I say the words "let's get started" at the beginning of a lot of my videos, so I decided to use those words on the top of my toolbox. So I'm using my traditional method of printing out my own letters on pages off of my Mac, and then I'm going to use some transfer paper. And it's a real simple process. I'll link my last video below where I explained how to do that if you're interested. So I'll just fast forward through this, and then I'm also going to use some stencils to do some different words on the front of my toolbox. I found these stencils in my stash probably from the 90s or even a longer time ago, I don't know. I decided I was going to try to stencil my tools on the front of my toolbox, but it didn't work out too good on this medium. You can't really pounce on metal too well, I guess, with a stencil brush. So I decided to cut my losses after the M didn't work that great. And I went ahead and traced the stencils and then just painted them in and connected all the lines so it looked more like real letters instead of stenciled letters. Well, I'm finished now, so let's take a look and see how my toolbox turned out. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a note in the comments below. What's coming up next? Monday, I'll be participating in a Halloween home tour. It's not going to be a full-blown home tour, but I'm just going to show you little updates that I made for Halloween. This is a first for me. I never decorate for Halloween. If you liked my video, please leave me a note in the comments below. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'll be sure to link that as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Mama said there'd be days like this. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm participating in the Make It New challenge hosted by Jasenia at Be Thrifty2 and co-hosted by Anna at hosted by This is a fairly new challenge, and this is the only oh my goodness. So make sure to go back and check out the last time. Oh goodness, let's start over.